You are about to experience the Skip Bayless Show, brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. So you might have seen the video I posted last, I believe it was Thursday night. Tom Brady on Jake Paul's podcast blasted me for saying he obviously told Raiders GM John Spytek not to draft Shedeur. That's my opinion. That's my take. And I know I'm right. So I fired back at Tom Brady, pointing out that Spytek, his former teammate at Michigan, had said before the draft that the Raiders would be fools not to ask Tom Brady, now Raiders owner, about quarterbacks they were considering in the draft. They'd be absolute fools not to ask Tom Brady about quarterbacks. I mean, Brady's the obvious GOAT. How many times have I said that on the airwaves over the last 10 years? And which quarterback obviously was the most debated quarterback, I think, in any draft ever? Well, that was Deion's son, Shedeur, the same quarterback Tom Brady had mentored and coached since he was, I think, a sophomore in high school. So Tom Brady wants us to believe his good friend Spytek, who also was an executive with the Bucs when Tom won the Super Bowl down in Tampa, that GM of the Raiders wouldn't ask him as a Raiders owner one thing about Shedeur? Yeah, right, Tom. And you didn't fumble on that tuck rule play and maybe cost Al Davis a Super Bowl. Come on, man. Nobody knew more about Shedeur than you did, Tom. That's tangibly and intangibly. I mean, you spent so much time around the kid. And let's just face up to it. You obviously vetoed that kid to Spytek. I mean, the Raiders passed on Shedeur 7 times before Cleveland owner Jimmy Haslam overruled his executives and his coaches. And Haslam took Shedeur with the 144th overall pick in the 5th round. I think Haslam took him just for the publicity of it. He loves publicity because he can't win. So Tom Brady's team, the Las Vegas Raiders, had 3 third-round picks. They had 2 fourth-round picks. And it would have been perfect for Shedeur to just sit behind Geno Smith for a couple of years, learn the game, right on schedule, 2 years. Come on, man. Yet Spytek obviously did not take Shedeur with any of those picks because Tom Brady had obviously told Spytek not to take Shedeur Sanders with any pick. So as I said on my Thursday night video, it's okay, Tom, just own it. You and a whole lot of other NFL people decided Shedeur just wasn't worth the potential trouble, wasn't talented enough, I guess, to overcome the entitlement with which he was raised. He was too spoiled. He was too pampered. He was too brash, too arrogant. Blah, 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 blah. I heard it all. Too long-term dangerous because Deion would immediately be involved. A far more famous and powerful LeVar Ball of a father. An imminent threat to the current coach. In this case, it would have been Pete Carroll with the Raiders. Because, Raider Nation would soon have been chanting, Deion, 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 to take over and coach Shedeur. Sure, all these scenarios were played out behind closed doors by Tom Brady and Spytek. And you, Tom, obviously said no, 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 no. Yet you told Jake and Logan Paul on that podcast that you weren't at all involved in the Raiders draft evaluation process. Not at all involved. You knew nothing about it. You don't know anything about what happened behind closed doors if it was Shedeur. Tom, come on, your nose is going to grow. I defended you all through Deflategate. I said that scoundrel Belichick was involved if any footballs were underinflated, but not you, Tom. But now, I got to admit, you're making me wonder, if you dodged the truth about Shedeur, would you have ... Come on, Tom, just own it. If you don't believe in Shedeur as an NFL quarterback for whatever reason, just own that. If it's his tangibles, his intangibles, I don't know what your opinion is. I just know, bottom line, what it is. No. I mean, even though many people have told me I'm wrong, I have owned my belief that Shedeur was the best quarterback in that draft. I love and still love, after all the negativity I've been bombarded with, I still love, number one, his accuracy. Number two, his toughness. Number three, his poise and his feel for playing that position. Hardest position, as you know, Tom, to play in all of sports. Number four, I love his clutchness. Number five, I love his leadership. And number six, I love the fact that he was raised by the greatest athlete ever, Deion. He was raised to be great by Deion. For me, that was a plus, not a minus. Then I kept hearing, well, he's not the athlete Deion was. Well, who is? Whoever was. I mean, Shedeur is certainly more mobile than you were, Tom. I think that's just a fact. So Tom, now don't go smiling assassin on Shedeur. Don't still try to be his mentor, his big brother, his best friend. Don't keep telling him to show them all how wrong they were about you, just the way I did. Tom, you were part of them all. You were part of those who didn't believe in Shedeur. So he needs to show you, Tom, not them. Don't show them all. You are part of them all. Don't be a two-faced hypocrite. You, Tom, are now part of the NFL power structure as an owner, as a broadcaster. Don't try to play both sides against the middle. Tom, I'm pretty sure Shedeur is on to you now. Oh, I'm sure he'll say publicly all the right things about you. After all, he has to be on his very best behavior now after the league shunned and shamed him and disqualified him as brash and arrogant. But here's a little secret people don't know. The media jumped to the conclusion that when Shedeur couldn't get the number 2 in Cleveland that he wore in college, that he opted for number 12 in honor of Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., the GOAT who mentored and coached him. Wrong. Tom Brady shattered that fairy tale. No, Shedeur did not choose 12 because of Brady. He chose it because 12 is his father's number backward. Deion, of course, wore 21. Shedeur will wear 12 as a tribute to his father, to Deion, not to his godfather, Brady, who went cold-blooded Vito Corleone on Shedeur. And by the way, while I'm at it, how disrespectful was it to Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion, ranked 5th overall on Mel Kiper's final big board, 1 slot above Cam Ward? How shameful was it that he winds up in Cleveland, did Shedeur, and DeAndre Carter won't give Shedeur number 2? I mean, DeAndre Carter, a receiver once undrafted out of Sacramento State, that was back in 2015. He's now on his 12th NFL team. And he's too good to give number 2 to Shedeur? Are you kidding me? I don't know. I guess that's all part of the humbling process that Shedeur now must go through. Look, I said from the start that this was all about the NFL teaching Deion and his son a lesson. Congrats, NFL. Laugh your asses off. Deion navigated Shedeur all the way to Cleveland, to Haslam's laughingstock Browns in the 5th round. Hooray. You got him. You won for now. And now to Deion. A source close to Deion tells me that source has now seen Deion cry only twice. First time was after Deion's suicide attempt in 1997. The second was after his son fell all the way to 144th in the draft. Deion cried. Now, I had one insider tell me, well, Deion cried because he knew all along Shedeur wasn't that good, and that he now knows that he just should have been tough love, honest with Shedeur and prepared him for what was about to happen. I don't believe that for 1 second. I had Deion on my show, Skip 101. I can tell you for a fact that he believed with all his heart and soul that Shedeur was the best quarterback in this draft. I mean, Deion nicknamed Shedeur Grown when Shedeur was in middle school because he was so mature for his age. What? Now, Deion truly believed Shedeur should and would go number 1 overall. I mean, is it possible that Deion turned a little bit into that classic delusional father, blinded by pride in his son? I don't know, maybe to some degree, yet Deion did feel, I know this for a fact, that he was objectively right about his son, that he did the week before the Super Bowl down in New Orleans tell Dan Patrick on his show that he, Deion, would tell some teams picking high in the draft not to even think about drafting Shedeur because Shedeur wasn't going to play for you and for you. He wouldn't name the teams, but he said he would help navigate his son to the best fit for his son at the top of the draft. So, yeah. Deion indicated he'd go Archie Manning on the draft. Remember, Archie once navigated Eli out of San Diego to New York and the Giants. I still believe, as I said before, that interview, those statements were what most turned the NFL against Shedeur and Deion, that Deion dared to compare himself and his situation to the beloved first family of football, the Mannings. That's when I believe the NFL pretty much said in colluding unison, oh yeah, watch this, Deion. That's why Deion cried after the draft, because he realized he just talked too much, too positively much about his son's potential greatness, that he, Deion, inspired too much jealousy and too much resentment, and that he helped put his son through a 3-day ringer of shame. I mean, he is Deion Sanders, Neon Deion, Coach Prime. Anything he says will hit with 10 tons more impact than any other coach in this country. I'm talking college or pro coach. Deion knows that for a fact. So he cried over what his son had to endure over those 3 days, 2 nights and a day. And you know what? Maybe he cried a few tears of joy and satisfaction when Shedeur told him that he, Shedeur, chose to wear 21 backward in honor of his father. Not 12 for that smiling assassin Brady, that double agent. No, 12 backward for Pops. Now I'm hoping Shedeur Sanders proves Tom Brady almost as wrong as Brady proved everyone who failed to draft him until the 6th round.